I haven't watched the Final Fantasy 16 trailer yet. No. I've seen bits of it on Twitter, and I'm scared of reacting to it because I don't think I'm going to like it. Because, like, genuinely, Final Fantasy 14 is the only Final Fantasy that I really like.
Who are we? What are the dominants? The power we wield. It wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us. That its immaculate aspect might reveal itself.
Look, it's got dragons in it. I'm sold. I love Final Fantasy 14 dragons. They're so good.
There's going to be another war, isn't there?
Every day.
Oh my god. Can I just say, that is like the least romantic game dev name of all fucking time. I couldn't make up a less romantic fucking studio name than that. What the actual fuck? What the fuck is that? Creative Business Unit 3. I don't give a fuck how much respect it's got. Yeah, it must sound better in Japanese, right? That is some fucking bullshit. You're allowed to give yourself another name, right? You're allowed to change your name. It's like if the Borg made video games, yeah. Okay. Profit-making Group 7, yeah. Look, I'm not shitting on their work, right? I'm not shitting on their work. Obviously, if they're the Heavensward team, which is what someone just said in my chat, then that's incredible. Clearly, that's awesome. I would go as far as to say, I haven't finished Endwalker yet, but I would go as far as to say, I think Heavensward is probably my favorite bit of Final Fantasy XIV so far, right? So, they couldn't call it Yoshi P Town. Why the fuck not? Why couldn't they call it Yoshi P Town? What's the problem with that? Why wouldn't they call it Yoshi P Town? Guaranteed to make the dough. Yoshi P Town? Are you kidding me? Yoshi P Town, even more dough. You really want to get the crowd in? You really want to make the money? Yoshi P Town. Down with the P Town. Always. Ah, wow. Guys, Creative Business Unit 3 have a new game out.
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
I unite the dominants, that we may bring an end to the strife, and found a new order to see us unto tomorrow. If I take the field, our duel will shake the island to its foundations.
They have the English lip sync. That's it. Sound like
there will be losses, yeah. It is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on.
Ruda looking thick. Am I right that Yoshi P is like the creative director on this as well, right? So I gotta be careful what I say, right? Right, first of all, the stuff that I fucking love about that, and there's so much to love, it looks incredible. The character stuff and the dialogue and the cutscene stuff looks awesome. Okay, producer, not director. Okay. That is very different. It looks great. And it looks like the things I like about Final Fantasy XIV are all in place, right? That's pretty awesome. I love this roll call at the end. Oh, Shiva looking fucking awesome too. Don't mind if I do. Hi, Shiva. Yes. Sweet. Yeah, and that's cool, and it's got loads of stuff that I recognize in it, and that I like, and that I have an automatic love for, right? Can someone explain the combat system to me, please? Devil May Cry guy doing it. Is that a fact? I mean, that's what it looks like, for sure. Yeah, it looks like Devil May Cry, which is a shame. So it's action combat? Because there are definite screens in this trailer that look like turn-based combat as well. It almost looks like Dynasty Warriors. I mean, look how fucking arcadey this looks. The actual combat. I hate the look of that. I'm really sorry. It's one of the reasons I don't like games like Dynasty Warriors and shit. I dislike that intensely. I know that's going to be something that splits people. I know loads of people like that's their dream and that's exactly what they want. For me, maybe it's because I've just come off the back of playing Elden Ring, which is like the opposite.
We must move now.
I hate it. I hate that. I hate that arcade. For me, it's just button mashing. But then there were screens as well that looked like turn-based combat. Shiva. So that's the real Shiva. That's not Lady Iceheart, right? I guess we don't know, but... Oh, this now. This looks like turn-based to me. Look, the way these fucking ridiculous arcade numbers pop up like this, and the way they like bounce around, it's so dumb. I hate it so much. This looks like turn-based, right? Okay, it's the summons. It's a cutscene summon. Oh, okay. Possibly the primal fights are turn-based. Yeah, it's very Final Fantasy for sure, for sure. But it looks basic. Yeah. So what, do you kind of like team up with the various primals and stuff? It looks like there's a kind of primal Pokemon kind of shit going on here, if you catch my drift. Yeah, I think you turn into them. Yeah, I think so too. I think you summon them or like you play as them for sure. There is some primal fucking Pokemon shit going on here. So you've got your action combat, but you've also got your turn-based Pokemon combat as well. Garuda, I choose you. And I'm down with that, frankly. That sounds cool. It certainly seems like the Primals are absolutely a fundamental part of the game. As in, you know, a core part of the gameplay. And this is clearly, like, gameplay. These aren't cutscenes, right?
There will be losses. It is true.
And that's where like the turn-basedness, like the traditional Final Fantasy combat kind of comes from. There's definite Heavens and vibes happening here as well. Ifrit! Odin, Shiva, Ifrit! Love it. I think there's definitely some primal Pokemon shit going on here. Absolutely. 100%. And I'm down on that. Seriously. I'm completely down. The kind of like day-to-day action combat, I don't like the look of. This looks kind of turn-basedy as well.
Duster, we must move now.
I feel like there's kind of like just mob clearing sort of button mashing action combat, but then this definitely looks like a boss fight, and this looks turn-based as well to me. Do you agree? I think this looks turn-based, and the way like the action plays out in that little bit as well. Yeah, 100%. Look at that.
We must
okay,
now.
That's cool. I'm down with that. That helps because I think the action combat looks fucking horrible. I hate that. Oh, I hate that. I really dislike it. It's just not my thing at all. And I know like lots of people fucking love it, but it's not my thing at all. So I'm really pleased to see some turn-based stuff in there. That's really cool. I guess it just depends on the balance. And you know, in between the turn-based stuff, it might be fun to do a lot of the action shit. So action combat mobs, turn-based bosses works for me. Yeah, that's how it seems to me, certainly. In 15, you could do action combat or turn it off and do turn-based. Yeah, it was kind of like a real-time turn-based thing. sort of thing, wasn't it? I don't like how those damage numbers are everywhere on screen. Yeah, it's very Dynasty Warriors, isn't it? It's very Devil May Cry. It's like big bouncy fucking numbers. Why not, man? Who cares? I'm sure it won't be a huge, massive part of the game. It seems like this is going to be a very narratively and turn-based driven game, which will be brilliant. I'm much more excited now I've watched it properly than what I saw of it kind of third-hand on social media and stuff like that. Most of what I'd seen on social media was the action combat, so I was like, I was kind of just not really excited about it at all. But actually, I feel much more excited after watching that. That's really cool. Yeah, and the character stuff and the story looks like it's going to be wicked, so I'm all in. I'm totally in. I didn't hate the trailer. You didn't hate the trailer. I count that as a win. Yeah, no. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Yeah, definitely. It was like the opposite of Starfield, which was a massive disappointment, which I was really excited about. This one I wasn't excited about at all because of what I'd seen, and I'm actually much more hyped than I thought I was going to be about that. That's really cool. Final Fantasy has always had numbers pop up when you do damage. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's why I don't really love most Final Fantasy games. Most of the time numbers pop up in a kind of turn-based kind of way, right? You choose your thing and it hits and the numbers come up, right? Like that's what happens in like Divinity and shit, man. Although that's more like XCOM, really. And that's awesome and that's cool. But this is like very arcadey, this action combat here. And it's not my sort of thing to listen to. But like this shit, with all these like very arcadey kind of like the name of the thing coming out and zooming off and the numbers filling up the whole screen and stuff, that's not how like traditional Final Fantasy like turn-based combat shit looks. And it feels like a different game to me. That you instantly go, oh, Devil May Cry or Dynasty Warriors or something, right? You automatically go, oh, that's what that feels like. Whatever. There's no numbers in Dynasty Warriors, and yet it made me think of Dynasty Warriors though. You sure there's no numbers in Dynasty Warriors? To be fair, the shift towards more action combat in Final Fantasy has been a fairly controversial thing. A lot of traditionalists in the community. Yeah, well, it looks like they're mixing it up with turn-based stuff as well, and the turn-based stuff looks spectacular, honestly. I'm super interested in it. I'm very, very super interested in it. Well, it's hard to know what you're even talking about when you say Dynasty Warriors, because there's like 100 Dynasty Warriors games which go all over the place, right? Log Guy, I believe you. I absolutely believe you. I haven't really played any Dynasty Warriors games because I don't like how they look. Have you played Kingdom Hearts? Yeah, I guess Kingdom Hearts is another one that looks like that. Yeah, the combat, I mean. I think it makes you think of a certain type of game, right? I just find it interesting that it's giving off that vibe, not just to you, but to a bunch of people I saw on Twitter. Yeah, which is honestly, Log Guy, why I didn't watch this trailer until now, is because I saw the action combat and I was like, okay, not really my bag. But watching the trailer, it feels like there's actually a lot more in this game, which is my bag, than I gathered from social media. And that's actually really good. I'm a lot more excited about Final Fantasy 16 than I thought I was, based off of other things I'd seen of it. So that's brilliant. I count that as a massive, massive success.